Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of my podcast, On the Spot, on the Spectrum. This is Rachel Nizinski, your host. First, a little background on. I was diagnosed with autism when I was about 4 years old and ADHD when I was 13, so I know what it's like to have both for a very long time. I'm 28 years old right now, even though I know they say a woman should never reveal their age or whatever. Anyways, for today's blog post, I'm going to talk about one of the books that impacted my life the most. Let me unblur my camera, unblur my background real quick. I'm just going to keep it unblurred. There's nothing that embarrassing in the background. Even if there is, it gives me character, it just gives this blog character and this podcast character and adds to my brand, which is what I want anyways. Am I right? All right. So one of the books that really impacted my life the most for the better is this book, Thinker Toys by Michael McCullough. I first came across this book and bought it at Barnes & Noble. Yes, I know it kind of reveals my age. When I was about 16 years old. Yes, I was in 11th grade, I remember. I was 16 years old. And the reason I bought this book, because even though I knew I was a creative person, I still found the ideas were very elusive and hard to come by. I didn't know how to make them come to me more often, so to speak, or how to tame them, or how to manage them, so to speak. So that's why I love this book so much. It teaches you all that, especially the part on getting more ideas in a structured way. And I really, really love that because, as you know, us people with autism, us autistic people, we love structure. And with ADHD, we love creativity. So this book offers both of that. And speaking of which, AuDHD and the benefits and why this book is AuDHD friendly is that the idea generation tools in this book are divided into two types of chapters. Into two sections. The first is linear thinker toys, which of course it's very helpful for us on the autism spectrum. And then there's the intuitive thinker toys, which of course is great for those with ADHD. And in addition, the author in one of his chapters, Michael McCullough, the author in one of the earlier chapters of the book, he recommends combining the two types of ideas, combining the two types of thinker toys or idea generation techniques, both the intuitive ones and the linear ones. That's for the best results. And I really, it might take a little more time than just using one or the other. I really think it makes the ideas pop. For example, and for a while because as you know, for us people with ADHD especially, we tend to cycle through interests and hobbies pretty quickly. So for a while, for about 2 weeks or so, maybe a month or something like that, a short period of time, something around that time frame, I was using the principles of this book consistently, particularly the part of me combining the intuitive and the linear thinker toys. And after a while, I noticed that there was on one of my grandma's magazines. Yes, my grandma still subscribes to magazines. Well, then again, she's in her early 80s, but she's still going strong as of now. We had one of her magazines was sitting on my kitchen table, and I noticed that there were some big quotation marks on the magazine, they're kind of shaped like this. It's kind of hard to make it with my hand. They're shaped like this. And from a certain perspective, they look like the number 99 or the number 66 if you look from a certain angle. And that just shows you the power of thinking creatively. You get to see things from a different perspective and a different angle. And I know us people with AuDHD are already pretty good at that, but we could really apply that skill even more and make it into a real superpower with this book. And that's why I love this book so much. I love how it's formatted. I love how it's very clear and goes into detail. And I love it's just a fun read. Creativity applies to a lot of different fields. Even though this book's primarily aimed at business owners, I feel I personally use this book for personal problems, solve personal problems. And that's why, and it also has a chapter on group decision making and brainstorming. as well as simply narrowing down your options. So I really recommend this book. You can find it wherever books are sold. Thank you. And I look forward to seeing you next week.